And we are back for another day. It's day 3 of the 2024 Dieppe Classic live on the Maritime Streams YouTube channel. And in this early morning matchup, it's two undefeated teams. It's the Phoenix and the Nobles. Quick face-off draw taken by Belle River. Stahlbrand quickly tries to play a puck over to his teammate, ends up out of play for a whistle 6 seconds into this game. Starting in net for both teams. In net for Belle River's number 31, Jesse Werstein. And in the crease for the Phoenix is number 33, Zach Monroe. But there goes behind that Stahlbrand. His stretch pass that was intended up for Duquette misses his target and will go all the way for an icing. Face-off, going to the face-off dot. Left of Warrenstein, Stahlbrand. Up along the boards for Middleton. Middleton trying to get it in the middle, poked off by Brown. Sent to the middle, Villeneuve. Trying to make a couple dangles, now must go back. Chasing the puck and trying to prevent an icing is Duquette. But the puck is out of his reach, and the Nobles cannot make their requested changes. Face-off now going to the right of Werstein. Burke to take the draw for the Nobles. In the face-off, that was Kinsman for the Phoenix. Stahlbrand, his pass that was intended up for Middleton, deflected away. Making his way into the zone is Hickey, trying to put it on his forehand, trying to send it out in front, covered by Werstein. A little bit of push and shoving in front, down on the ground for the Phoenix's Muffet. Rather, it's Salah. So far in this first minute, all possession has been in the offensive zone of the Citadel Phoenix. Belle River wins the draw. Going behind the net is Scott, over to Gaudette. Gaudette battling with Salah behind the net. Salah sends it out in front. It's in the feet of Scott. Didn't know where it was. He'll clearing it out is Rice. Up against the boards. Puccio just out of reach. Could not clear it out of the zone. Kinsman goes D to D over for Milne. Pass in the middle. Milne clears it in. Delayed offside. In the defensive zone with it is Gavin Gaudette. Pass over along the boards for Puccio. Bumps it up past Kisman into the neutral zone. Over for Rice. Rice into the zone. Stops. Waits. Gets poked by Powell. Flipped high and out of the zone. Defenseman Scott banking it off the boards past the captain Powell. Walking his way into the zone is Nathan Rice. Stops at the blue line, tries a no-look backhand pass, but is poked away by Powell. In the neutral zone, coming off the bench was Bodchen. Clearing it down the zone for the Nobles to make some changes. Citadel Phoenix retreating, go back the other way. Gibson put it into the zone, but then forced out. Maloney back into the zone, that one hopping over the stick of Bodchen. Stopping behind the net, looking for passes. Rimmed around the boards, over for Story. Outside the zone. Back checking hard is Gibson, who must swat it away. Nobles get possession. Behind the net, sent up to the blue line. Intended on the front side to the blue line. There's a shot. Saved and turned away. Behind the net, some battling for the puck. It looks like it was Arthur up in there. Coming back, going the other way. Macropolis. Sent by Arthur into the corner. Macropolis still with it. Hit up against the boards by Arthur. Continues his journey behind the net. Back going the other way is O'Brien. Sent into the corner. Up at the blue line. There's a shot. Blocked. And sent back in the zone by McFetridge. And behind the net, we'll have a whistle and a hooking call coming against the Nobles at 13:10 of the first. Mason Vio heading to the box for a hook. Not too thrilled with the call. We're going to see the first power play in action. It's the Citadel Phoenix. To a 2-minute power play. They win the draw. Over the blue line, Maloney waits, cuts back. He was being pressured by Middleton. They're going back down to the zone for Dugan. Back to Maloney at the blue line. Back to Dugan. Walking in, shooting, trying to get deflected, saved, and covered by Werstein. Did not know where it was. Graham O'Brien having not one but 2 chances at a rebound. O'Brien cleared down deep into the zone for Powell. Powell back up for O'Brien. Maloney at the top of the blue line. Koch.
Noble penalty.
Before he gets 6 to Maloney. Maloney. O'Brien waits, tries to put out in front.
Numero says
Tipped attempted by Dugan.
2 minutes pro crochet.
O'Brien back at the
2 minutes pro hooking.
Up to Maloney.
At 6:50.
Koch in the opposite corner.
Second.
Koch skates around, circling the perimeter of the faceoff dot, kept him by Maloney to O'Brien. The high slot shooting just wide of the net. Dugan. O'Brien behind the net. Looks for a pass. A sharp angle shot off the mask of Werstein. Cross-ice pass Dugan. There's Koch with a shot. Blocked. Defenseman. Don't know where it is. Koch. Up to Dugan at the blue line. Intending that over for Powell. Was behind the net. Over for O'Brien. O'Brien at the net line. Stops. Evades Bialy. Down behind the net. Out in front. Powell put up to the blue line. Koch. Fake one-timer. Cross-ice pass. One-timer from O'Brien. Did not get all the way behind the net. Rebound out in front. Multiple chances. Powell knocking away at it. It's cleared behind the net. And as it may get out of the zone, it will. It's just out of the reach of Maloney. And we're going to have a penalty against the Phoenix. Take another look at that. It was behind the play. Henry Dugan behind the net. Here's the multiple chances. Powell was knocking away at it. It's cleared behind the net by Morris. So now have a 20-second 5-on-4. And then to do a power play for the Nobles for 1:40. Nobles getting some ozone time. Walking into the shot from the blue line from Wills. Then it's cleared way high over the net. Slide in the middle with Scott before getting it to Wills. Back to Scott. He's going to try a shot. Deflected, save. Rebound sent closer over to the corner. It's now a power play for 1:35 for the Nobles. Working out of the zone is the Phoenix. Cutting to the middle is Dauphini. From Middleton making his way back the other way. Middleton has Wills with him. Goes behind the net. A Phoenix defenseman falls to his feet. Wills. Pass over to Vio. To the blue line for Godet. Slides a bit to the middle.
Phoenix penalty to number 19.
Then hits the tape of Rice. Vio shot deflected above the net. Rebound stays behind the net. And cleared down to the other end of the zone.
2 minutes for roughing at 8:30. That's Phoenix penalty to Disnov. Henry Dugan. 2 minutes
under a minute left to go.
At 8:30.
On the Nobles power play. Going behind the net, Werstein. Plays it for his defenseman, Stahlbrand. Outlet pass over for Vio. In along the left, trying to shoot on Monroe. Whiffed on the shot from the poke check of Villeneuve. All the way down the ice, just getting 10 minutes to go here in the first period. Werstein leads it off for Stahlbrand. Going behind that is Brown, forechecking aggressively. Stahlbrand firing it down on the corner. In the opposite corner, Brown also there with Maloney. Attempted ice. There was a hit from Story on Maloney, but still managed to get it all the way down the ice. Stahlbrand being followed and watched closely by Villeneuve. Nobles quickly head back the other way. Stahlbrand. There's Dugan out of the box. Playing some 5-on-5. Stahlbrand puts it into the zone. Stahlbrand sends it back to the blue line for Gibson. Cleared out in the middle of the ice for Powell. Powell in the zone, trying to get by Story. He'll elect to dump it in. Stahlbrand behind the net. Put it right back where it came from. Blocked by Kisman. Nobles clear it back in. That will not go for icing. Tipped off of a Phoenix defenseman. Behind the net is Koch. Koch put it into the neutral zone. Smith pass it over to his defenseman, Arthur. Arthur getting it back. That pass intended for Raymond. And will go down the ice, barely for an icing. We have just under 9 to go. And already, we'd like to thank 72, currently watching live from home. It's an early morning here at the Uniplex from Dieppe, New Brunswick. It's the 49th annual Dieppe Classic, being live streamed on MST every game at the Uni Surface. These two Division I teams so far in a highly intense game. Both teams having numerous chances. There's a delayed offside for the Phoenix. Sent along the boards by Fleming. Phoenix regroup back in their own zone. McFetridge looks up along the boards. That pass out of the reach of Macropolis. Going back to Stahlbrand. Dunn trying to knock it down out of the puck. Puck was airborne. Cleared along the boards by Arthur. Try to put it up to Smith. He ends up finding a sting, getting it to the middle for Raymond, who then Koch pickpockets him. Kisman, that pass up into the skates of Sulla. Sulla backhander to the middle. That one just under the stick of Duquette. Phoenix trying to get to the middle. We're going to have a penalty call against the Nobles. Believe it's going to be a hold. Citadel goalie Monroe not heading to the bench, walking in. O'Brien trying to get a shot off. He's steered to the side by Bodgen. O'Brien still with it, skating up. Clears it back down, hits the leg of the ref. Out in front, Powell trying to get a shot off, puts it in the other corner. Still will not be touched up, sent to the blue line. Gibson trying to get a shot off. That's blocked by Burke and goes all the way back. Phoenix now having a chance to regroup. Burke, cross-ice pass for O'Brien. That feed went all the way down the ice. And we'll have the Nobles penalty call. And we'll see another look at it. There we see Kai Duquette taking down a Phoenix in open ice. It's going to be a 2-minute power play for the Phoenix. And face-off's not going to go into the offensive zone. Or will it? It's going to go into the neutral zone, close to the bench of the Nobles. That face-off taken by Citadel. At the blue line, Maloney cross-ice pass. Taking a tumble on his own account is Koch.
Double penalty to number 22.
Maloney banked up the boards.
2 minutes for hooking.
He intended to get that to Dugan, but it's cleared back down into the Citadel defense done by Puccio.
Kai Duquette. 2 minutes pour crochet. 12 minutes.
Koch working his way up. His pass over to O'Brien. O'Brien cleared in behind the net to Gaudette. He's pressuring Dugan. Behind the net, Powell gets it, stops, looks the other way, up to the blue line for Koch. Jackson Koch, Maloney waits, goes back to Koch on the top of the blue line, shot, save, and rebound covered by Werstein. Face-off taken by the Phoenix, cleared back in by O'Brien. Powell sees O'Brien up at the blue line. He puts it to the net, rebounds loose, carried up to the blue line, shot out off the stick of Maloney into the neutral zone. Pressuring him hard as Vie. Maloney clearly showing no panic. And going around the net, O'Brien. O'Brien gets the puck back. Evades Bialy, puts it back to the blue line for Koch. His pass out to Maloney on the opposite side on the far boards. Sent down, over to Powell. Drag it to Maloney. Walking in, shooting. That's blocked by the skates of Vie. O'Brien finds it in the near boards. Puts it up to the line for Koch. Two Nobles go hit him. He wanted a call, did not get one. Maloney blocks it with his skates. Powell doing a couple fancy moves down in the corner, sent up to Koch. Koch has time, walks in, shoots. That one blocked by Bialy. Cleared around the boards, and this will not be kept in by Maloney. And now just 6 seconds left on the Citadel power play. That pass up to Powell. Powell walking in, shooting. Blocker saved by Werstein. We now play some 5-on-5. In the catch, the puck is Dauphiny. In the corner, puck is sent loose out into the slot for Morris. Morris high pass up, glove down by McFetridge. Steered away by Kisman. Walking in his own zone was Hickey before he passed it off over to Kisman. Sent behind the net. Noble struggling to find possession. They put up to the blue line. The Phoenix tried a shot on net. A low shot blocked and carried away. That pass that was intended for Duquette was behind him. Couldn't get a stick on it. Duquette skating around his own zone, pressured by Hickey. Duquette skates around Kisman. Still in, gets around Milne, put it out to the middle, and no one there to bang her home. Hickey trying to flip it on his backhand. Kept in. Duquette almost got a stick on it. Hickey still battling with it. Middleton to the middle. Low shot saved by Munro. And the first whistle in at least 2 or 3 minutes. Come down close to the last 4 minutes of the first game of day 3 of the 2024 Dieppe Classic. Puck taken behind the net off the face-off. Not cleared out. Shot from the blue line just wide from Bodjon. Kept in by Arthur. Put back in behind the zone. Rice behind the net. Back up to Arthur. Shooting. Deflected. Save. Monroe. Rebound. Still loose behind the net. Faking a wraparound attempt was Wills, who then put it behind the net into the opposite corner. Puccio. Clearing out and going the other way is McFetridge. It's banked off the boards and all the way to the Nobles defense. Picking it up is Bodjon. Clearing it in the zone. Trying to split the D is Wills, but first on the puck's going to be Milne. Milne takes a tumble. Shooting to the net is Wills. Trying to find Puccio. Puccio finds it in the corner. Puts it behind the net for Rice. Rice puts it into the corner. Taken out by Milne. Still kept in. Trying to bang it out was Kisman, but blocked by a skate of a Noble, and that puck's going to be sent into the bench of the Phoenix. Face-off taken by Dunn. Not successful in winning it. Maloney back behind his net. Pinned up against the boards. Put over to the boards by Dunn. Sent up to the blue line. Shot from Stahlbrand. Loose puck. Dunn trying to bang it home. Cleared around the net. Phoenix now initiating a breakout. Walking out of the zone with the puck was Gibson before he banged it along the boards. Stahlbrand behind his net. Being pressured by Powell. Puts it around the boards. Intended for Dunn. Walking in. Shot from Powell. Saved by Werstein. Rebound. O'Brien trying to knock it out of the air. Maloney trying to send it in. Put in the offensive zone. Stahlbrand hit along the boards. Cleared up by Smith. Smith's going to get the puck just outside the blue line. Delayed offside. Maloney comes back the other way along the left. Attempted hit by Smith. Behind the net, Stahlbrand. Being chased, being watched. Sends it along the boards. Kept in by the back of Gibson. Now skating it out all by himself is Morris. Morris trying to get by O'Brien, unsuccessful. But he finds the puck for a second and clears it into the zone of the Phoenix. Phoenix cleared out of the zone. Koch over to O'Brien, flips it over, hits the bench of the Nobles. Cross ice pass, Bialy. In the middle finds Arthur. Arthur in shooting. Off the stick, going around the net is Villa, not Arthur, my mistake. Dauphiny. Puts it up against the boards, but kept in by the Nobles. Big hit on Story, who tried to put it out into the middle, but cleared out by the Phoenix. Scott trying to pinch and keep it in. Walking in is Brown, shooting, missing the net. Dugan puts it behind the net. Battling in the corner was Dauphiny. Shot trying to get to the middle. Nobles will finally now have a chance to clear the zone. Work their way into the Citadel offensive zone before stopped by the back-checking Dugan. Over Scott. Sent over to Stahlbrand. Pass up for Bialy. He tried to hit Villa, but ends up with defenseman McFetridge. Shot cleared out into the neutral zone. Bialy passes back to his defenseman Scott. He shoots it over, deflected in the zone by Duquette. Phoenix still in the zone, cleared by Koch, and this one will go all the way down the ice. No icing. Bodchon flips it, tried to get it over to Middleton. In the zone, back checking forward is Gibson. Turns around, finds an open lane, flips it over the boards, but out of the reach of Dauphiny. Bodchon cross ice pass over for Sulik. Pinching down, trying to stop the rush, I believe is Rice. Cleared out of the zone. This one will go for icing against the Nobles. It's Owen Arthur shooting it down against the boards with a little too much strength. Just 15 seconds left to go in this first period. Face-off won by Kisman, and then tried to put it to the blue line and all the way out of the zone. Around the net, that puck is out of the reach of Gibson. Putting it to the net, but blocked away by Milne, and that will end the first period. So after one, we ended like we started, tied at 0. Quickly, as we approach the end of this break, going around the league, Cité des Jeunes is up 2-0 on the CPL and Cheetahs. And near the end of the first, Rivière du Loup is tied with the Northumberland Nighthawks. Bringing into the zone is the Nobles. Stahlbrand poked away by Hickey. Cleared back in the zone. First one on it, Rice. Behind the net, being pinned up against the boards is Puccio. Rice finds the loose puck, looks for options, trying to get it to the blue line over from Morris, and he couldn't get a shot off. Going back the other way is Hickey. Hickey shooting, deflected up above the net. Dude, back into the zone, Sulla. Behind the net, Stahlbrand. Trying to put it out in front. Hickey recovers with possession. Sends it back behind the net. Sulla trying to look out in front. The one-timer shot from Kisman in point-blank range from the goaltender, saved and turned away by Weinstein. And hold by Werstein. And a bit of pushing and shoving in front of the net. We'll have another look at the point-blank shot in front from Ryan Kinsman. And then some pushing and shoving in front. No penalties coming out of it. Face-off's gonna be taken by Powell. Gonna lose it in his feet. Behind the net. Cleared around by Gadet. Cleared out of the zone. Nobles rush back in. And with the trying to get a shot off is Bialy. Behind the net, Villa. Now in the skates of Bialy. Being pressured by two Phoenix players, McFetridge and Hickey. Back behind the net, shot out in front, pad save by Monroe. Mason Villa had a shot in tight. Going back the other way is O'Brien. Puck's post loose off his swing. Now going back the other way is Scott. Passes over to Story, shot save, rebound loose, trying to put it back in front was Bialy. Shot from Scott, save, Bialy couldn't quite find the rebound, McFetridge. Pass up to center ice to O'Brien. O'Brien has Macropolis with him. O'Brien shooting, scores! It's Graham O'Brien, worked his way up on the right-hand side, cut all the way to the left, took the shot, and hits the top corner, making it 1-0 Phoenix. Face-off taken by the Citadel. Maloney dumped it into the zone, taken by Bodson. Behind the net. Attempted flip out. It does flip out. Could be a potential break.
Phoenix first goal.
In all alone.
Number
Scott
11.
in shooting save.
Graham O'Brien. Assisted by numero 8.
That was Raymond in all alone, not
Gibson
Scott.
at 6 minutes.
Kinsman around the net. Taken by Hickey. Pass in the middle for Villeneuve. Villeneuve cleared along the boards into the back corner. Taken by Scott. Cleared around the boards by Dunn. Raymond trying to force it out of the zone. It's cleared back in by the back end of Villeneuve. Down below the net, trying to make some moves out in front. And taken away by the Nobles defenseman, Smith. Working his way up the zone. Pressured by Koch. He'll pin him up against the boards. Then taken away by Brown. Brown, that pass over to Dugan. Leaves it off for Dauphiny, who puts it behind his net. Morris still with the loose puck. Backhands it over to Stahlbrand. Dauphiny in the zone. Pass out in front. There's the shot from Dugan, deflected and ramped off the stick of Morris. Up and out of play. It's 1-0 Phoenix early in this second period. Nobles will get a chance to clear. Morris skating out of his own zone. He attempts to get past McFetridge. Does. Tries to see an option out in front. He has Middleton and then put it off the stick of Monroe between the pipes. Koch. Getting up the far boards near the penalty box. Koch tried to put it over in the middle for Dugan. Intercepted. Puck goes the other way, and this might go for icing. Monroe coming way out of his net. No man's land to play the puck. Going behind the net for McFetridge. McFetridge backhanded over for Dauphiny. Cleared into the zone by Morris. Back around the net is Koch. Being pinned up against the boards by Middleton. Burke puts it back behind in the corner, then pass out to Middleton. Off the skate to McFetridge. Cleared back in by Morris. The Phoenix now get a chance to clear. It's backhanded out against the boards by Brown. And a foot race for the puck. That involved O'Brien and Stahlbrand. Stahlbrand's going to win it, now have possession. Pass to the middle of the zone. Puccio in. He's trying to get past Dugan. Pass up out of the reach of Sulla and into the neutral zone it will go. Gaudette stops, waits, then hits the tape of Puccio. Pass to the middle, out of the reach of Rice. He was behind the net whilst being pressured by Milne. Puck sent to the blue line. Cleared back in by Scott. Behind the net. Wills is behind the net. He's being shoved from behind by Milne. Wills who then just loses the puck into the tape of Kisman. Rather, Hickey working his way up the shot wide of the net. In the opposite corner, flipped up. Trying to be handled by Wills. He's in, shooting, saved by the glove of Monroe. Sent back to the blue line, walking in, Gaudette. Cross ice, shot, deflected just wide of the net. Rice in the corner, tried to put it out in front, cleared out to Sulla. Sulla making rush before he dumps it in, and then his body checked by Gaudette. Gaudette Saucer pass. Could be a break, but it's not caught by Raymond. Could have had another breakaway. Could have been his second of the game. Flipped out by Powell. Over to Arthur. Walking in as Macropolis. Toe drag release shot. Save. Rather blocked away. Milne cleared out. Not out of the blue line. Kept in by Cox. Into the zone. Forechecking quickly to Story. Couldn't quite get by Maloney. Villa. We're back down in the zone. Out in front. One-timer. And deflected and ramped up and out of play. That was Mason Villa trying a one-timer from the middle of the ice in Ovechkin's office. Ramps up off his stick and hits the netting. Face-off taken by Belle River. Stahlbrand goes deeper into the zone with a high flip. Right behind the net. Smith receives the puck. It just gets behind him and goes for Story. Story clears it out of the zone. Being pressured and pinned up against the boards was Godet. Behind the net, Stahlbrand. Outlet pass. Breakout failed. Bobrangida intercepts the pass and flips it out of play in the netting. For a whistle, under 10 minutes left to go in the second period in this first game. We see the Citadel Phoenix. They're up 1-0 on the Belle River Nobles. Here on the Maritime Stream Team YouTube channel, live streaming every game on the Uni surface at the Uniplex in Dieppe, New Brunswick for the 49th annual Dieppe Classic. Behind the net. Attempting to clear it by the Nobles, goes to McFetridge. Goes it back in behind the net. Cleared out. Batted back in by Brown, rather. Now going back the other way is Smith. Eamon Smith clears it into the zone. Monroe going to leave that one off for Milne. Phoenix now initiate a breakout. It's a drop pass by Brown. Over to the twig of Dugan. Back to Brown. Brown tried to put it to the middle. And it's intercepted by defenseman Godet. Shot off the pad of Werstein. Picking it up is Middleton, trying to bank it off the boards. Puck goes to center ice. Taken by Duquette. Duquette in shooting. Saved and blocked by defenseman Milne. Back behind. Around to the hash marks. Brown cleared it all the way down. Nobles now must regroup. Working their way back in is Burke. Burke shooting, deflected, save by the pad of Monroe. Not expecting a deflection along the ice. Godet moved his way past one, shooting, saved by Monroe. Made a great dangle to get by Chris Dauphiny. But it's into the chest of Monroe. And having a goaltending change for the Nobles. Now in net for the Nobles is number 1, Brock Pernall. A very tight game thus far. We're about midway through the game. 1-0 Citadel Phoenix, but that score could have been anything by now. Nobles wanted a call as Gibson took a man down. Going across to the other side, Maloney picks it up, pass over to Villeneuve. Couldn't quite handle the puck, so it's taken back in by Rice. Going into the zone, Maloney against Wills. Wills retrieves it behind the net. Still has it in the corner, walking up to about the hash marks, put up to the blue line. Cleared back in, shot on goal. Then behind the net, put back into the blue line, Rice. Cross ice pass by Godet. Cleared in behind the net. Trying to find the loose puck was Puccio. But the Phoenix grab it back out. Kinsman over for Sulla. Sulla stops. Tries to put it to the net. Blocked by the stick of Puccio. Going back the other way, Rice stops at the blue line. There's a backhander backing along the ice. And that's Koch over to the middle for Kisman. Cuts in, shoots, saved, rebound is just sent over the net by Villeneuve. And multiple players go crashing in the boards behind the net. 2 Phoenix players are down and getting up slowly and going to the bench because of injury. Cleared in by Bodchen. Around Bialy. That pass over for Story. Bialy shooting at a sharp angle. Goes through the crease. Cleared in by Arthur. Behind the net, tried to get it out in front over for Villa. Shot attempt, ends up in the corner. Cleared back in behind the net by Story. Behind the net, forechecking is Bialy. Story, he's going to hit Koch up against the boards. Going around the net, kept in by Duquette. Puck around the net, Koch. He's hit by Story. Koch hits him back. On the net, Powell. Losing the puck. Belle puck behind the net. Wraparound attempt by Story is turned away. And Villa's hit up against the boards. Ref saying to move it. Working his way out in front is Bialy with the shot over the net. Oh, O'Brien. Cleared out of the zone. Stahlbrand, who just came off the bench, clears it in, but is behind the red line. Thought it was a delayed icing. It's a delayed offside on Belle River. O'Brien turning around, moving around one defense, and then a pass to Koch. They play a little give and go. O'Brien is almost decked by Stahlberg, but manages to stay on his feet. Going behind the net is Morris. Morris pinning up O'Brien. A Phoenix player goes down. O'Brien is behind the net, poked away. The shot out of the zone. This will not go for icing. Will give a chance for both teams to make some needed changes. Milne behind the net. That pass over for Gibson and went off his skate and over to Dunn, who flips it in back on his backhand. Milne, that pass wasn't up for Brown. In, walking in. Powell shooting, save by Pernal. Dauphiny in the corner, played it around. Noble's trying to initiate a breakout. It's cleared back in by defenseman Milne. Hits something and goes into the glove of Pernal. Got just over 4.5 minutes left to go in the second. I'd like to acknowledge currently 82 watching now live from home. It's our most viewed video so far. It's the first game of day 3. That puck was close to going in. Of day 3 of the Dieppe Classic 2024. Live stream brought to you by MST. Clearing it back in is Dugan. He leaves it off for Gibson, who puts it behind his net. Noble's trying to initiate a breakout. Flipped. That one going through the legs of Dugan in the neutral zone. Pass from Duquette over to Middleton. Middleton in behind the net. Still with the puck, has done about a half lap, then puts it behind the net over for Burke. Burke, who lost the puck in between a couple skates. It's being flipped and passed around between multiple sticks. Then a pass ends up seeing right to the table of Dauphiny. Tried to get by multiple defensemen, drops it off over for Dugan. Tried to put out in front for Dauphiny, but it's swatted away by Wills. Kept it at the blue line by Maloney. In his own corner, it's sent over for Burke. Cross-ice pass is going to hit off the boards, and it will have enough to go for an icing. 3.5 minutes to go. We'll go see around the tournament, see what's happening in other rinks. Across this ice surface at IGA, Citadel still has a 2-0 lead on the CPL and Cheetahs. And at AJL across the city, Rivière du Loup has a 3-1 lead over the Northumberland Nighthawks. Meanwhile, Citadel in the zone, pass to the middle by Kinsman, got a shot on net but turned away by Pernal's shot, blocked. Salah trying to find a loose puck. Going down deeper into the zone is Hickey. Put it up to the blue line, Maloney. Getting it back down to Hickey. He clears it in on his backhand. Salah putting up his man along the boards. Burke around in the corner. Cleared back in by Koch. Front of the net, the Nobles find it and clear it. Picked up by Smith. Cleared back in. Koch cutting his way to the middle. Still with it. Koch in, not shooting. Tried to make a drop pass over to Kisman. Nobles get it back in their defensive end. Scott works his way up. Delayed offside. Nobles still not acknowledging their offside. And Maloney flips it out. Over to Kisman. And around the net is Rice. Outlet pass, a flip, and it's touched by O'Brien with a high stick, and they'll play it again. So nearing the end of the second period, still only one goal in this low-scoring affair thus far. Citadel leads still 1-0 over the Nobles. Good around the net in the corner. Koch tried to put it, shove it up by the hash mark that's sent back the other way. Maloney stopped by Wills and Arthur. Going to the middle, Puccio trying to get a shot off. Blocked and taken away by Maloney. Maloney in, pass, shot just wide of the net. There was Macropolis. Had a chance for a shot on net going back. Powell trying to put it out in front. There's a shot, save, rebound, another shot. Was losing the blue paint for a second. Pernal down. Koch shooting. Walker save, sent him in the corner. Citadel Phoenix now buzzing in the offensive zone. O'Brien at the top of the point. Shot, blocked, and flipped out. This will not go for icing, but will get out of the zone if we get the last minute play. Koch, O'Brien, Gadet. Calling for the pass with some authority. Walking in, Powell stops, sneaks out a couple on his knees, still with the puck. Walking in, O'Brien, shot, pad, save. Off the right mini wheat of Pernal. Kicked in by Raymond, and we're going to have a penalty against the Phoenix. Pernal now escaping his net. Delayed penalty against the Phoenix. We're going to see a Belle River power play shortly into this period. Stahlbrand puts it to the side of the net, touched up by McFetridge, and we're going to see a Belle River power play. Going to the box is Will Brown. We'll get 2 minutes for a hook at 37.6 in the second period. Face off, taken by Belle River. At the blue line, Gadet walking in. One-timer from Scott is just wide of the net. Tried to see that top corner and just shot it over. All behind the net. Nobles initiate a breakout. Scott walking in along the right boards. Back to the blue line for Gadet. Gadet putting it down in the corner. They need a shot off quickly. There it is, putting it to the net. Trying to get it to was Bialy. That'll be taken by Dugan and cleared out of the zone for the end of the second. We'll take a quick 10-minute break for the Flood, but be back for highly anticipated, action-packed third period between the Citadel Phoenix and the Belle River Nobles on MST. This is the 49th annual Dieppe Classic. Try a shot, that's deflected just wide, and that will be the game. Trojans go up. For Belle Rivers, number 31, Jesse Werstein. 33, Zach Monroe. There was behind that Stahlbrand. His stretch pass that was intended up for Duke. Sent to the middle, Villeneuve. Trying to make a couple dangles, now must go back. Chasing the puck and trying to prevent an icing is Duke. His way into the zone is Hickey, trying to put it on his forehand, trying to send it out in front, covered by Werstein. His first minute, all possession has been in the offensive zone of the Citadel Phoenix. Battling with Salah behind the net. Salah sends it out in front. It's in the feet of Scott. Didn't know where it was. Rice into the zone. Stops, waits, gets poked by Powell. Some changes. Citadel Phoenix retreating, go back the other way. Gibson put it into the zone, but then forced out. Maloney back to get possession behind the net, sent up to the blue line. intended on the front side to the blue line. Coming back, going the other way. Macropolis. Sent by Arthur into the corner. Macropolis still with it. There's a shot. Blocked. And sent back in the zone by McFetridge. We're going to see the first power play in action. It's the Citadel Phoenix. To a 2-minute power play. They win the draw. Over the blue line, Maloney for Dugan. Back to Maloney at the blue line. Back to Dugan. Walking in, shooting, trying to get deflected, saved. Dugan. O'Brien behind the net. Looks for a pass. A sharp angle shot off the pass. O'Brien. They knock it all the way behind the net. Rebound out in front. Multiple chances. Powell knocking away at it. It's cleared behind the net. Stahlbrand firing it down in the corner. In the opposite corner. Brown. 5-on-5. Stahlbrand puts it into the zone. Stahlbrand sends it back to the blue line for Gibson. Powell. Powell in the zone, trying to get by Story. He'll elect to dump it in. Stahlbrand behind the net. Arthur getting it back. That pass intended for Raymond. And will go down the ice. The stick of Duquette. Phoenix trying to get to the middle. We're going to have a penalty call against the Nobody. Waits. Goes back to Koch on the top of the blue line. Shot, save, and rebound. Drop taken by the Phoenix. Cleared back in by O'Brien. Powell sees O'Brien up at the blue line. He puts it to the net. Rebounds loose. Carried up to VA. O'Brien finds it in the near boards. Puts it up to the line for Koch. And now just 6 seconds left on the Citadel power play. That pass up to Powell. Powell walking in, shooting. Blocked and almost got a stick on it. Hickey still battling with it. Middleton to the middle. Low shot saved by Monroe. Of the first game of day 3 of the 2024 zone. Rice behind the net. Back up to Arthur. Shooting. Deflected. Save. Monroe. Rebound. Still loose behind the net. Trying to split the D as Wills, but first on the puck is going to be Milne. Milne taking to find Puccio. Puccio finds it in the corner. Puts it behind the net for Rice. Rice puts it into the corner. Powell puts it around the boards, intended for Dunn. Walking in, shot from Powell. Stick going around the net is Villa, not Arthur, my mistake. Go Finney. Puts it up against the boards, but kept up by the Phoenix. Scott trying to pinch and keep it in. Walking is Brown, shooting. And he couldn't get a shot off. Going back the other way is Hickey. Hickey shooting. Deflected up above by Weinstein. Pulled by loose off his swing. They're going back the other way is Scott. Passes over to Story. Shot save. Rebound loose. Trying to pass up to center ice to O'Brien. O'Brien has Macropolis with him. O'Brien shooting. Score! Flip out. It does flip out. Could be a potential break.
First goal.
In all alone. And Scott in shooting. Still with the loose puck. Backhands it over to Stahlbrand. Finney in the zone. Pass out in front. There's the shot. Nick's now got a chance to clear. It's backhanded out against the boards by Brown. And a foot race for the puck. That involved in Godet. Cross ice. Shot. Deflected just wide of the net. Sala making rush before he dumps it in, and then his body checked by Arthur. Walking in as Macropolis. Toe drag release shot. Save. Outlet pass. Breakout fail. O'Brien intercepts the pass and regroup. Working their way back in is Burke. Burke shooting. Deflected. Save by the pad of Monroe. Not a Brock Hernal. To the middle for Kisman. Cuts in, shoots, save. To the middle for Kisman. Cuts in, shoots, save. Rebound is just sent over the. To the middle for Kisman. Cuts in, shoots, save. Rebound is just sent over the net by Vilna. That pass over for Story. Bialy shooting a sharp angle. Bialy, Story. He's gonna hit Koch up against the boards. Okay. Then Vias hit up against the boards. Ref saying to move it. Working his way out in front is Bialy. O'Brien turning around, moving around one defense, and then a pass to Koch. They play a little give and go. O'Brien is almost flips it in back on his backhand. Milne, that pass wasn't up for Brown. In walking in, Powell shooting. Pass wasn't up for Brown. In walking in, Powell shooting. Save by Pernal. Dauphin. Finney in the corner, played it around. It's our most viewed video so far. It's the first game of day 3. That puck was close to live stream, brought to you by MST. Clearing it back in his Sulla, bringing up his man along the boards. Koch cutting his way to the middle, still with it. Koch in, not shooting, trying to put that, make a drop pass over to Kisman. Maloney flips it out. Over to Kisman. And taken away by Maloney. Maloney in, pass, shot, just sneaks out a couple on his knees, still with the puck, walking in. O'Brien, shot, pad, save. Face off, taken by Belle River. At the blue line, Cadet walking in, one-timer from try a shot. That's to be deflected just wide. And that will be the game. Trojans go up. For Belle Rivers, number 31, Jesse Werstein. 33, Zach Monroe. But there goes behind that Stahlbrand. His stretch pass that was intended up for Duke. His way into the zone is Hickey, trying to put it on his forehand, trying to send it out in front, covered by Werstein. His first minute, all possession has been in the offensive zone of the Citadel Phoenix. Battling with Sulla behind the net. Sulla sends it out in front. It's in the feet of Scott. Didn't know where it was. Rice into the zone. Stops, waits, gets poked by Powell. Some changes. Citadel Phoenix retreating, go back the other way. Gibson put it into the zone, but then forced out. Maloney back to get possession behind the net, sent up to the blue line. Intended on the front side to the blue line. Coming back, going the other way. Macropolis. Sent by Arthur into the corner. Macropolis still with it. There's a shot, blocked, and sent back into the zone by McFetridge. We're going to see the first power play in action. It's the Citadel Phoenix. Do a 2-minute power play. They win the draw. Over the blue line, Maloney for Dugan. Back to Maloney at the blue line. Back to Dugan. Walking in, shooting, trying to get deflected, saved. Dugan. O'Brien behind the net. Looks for a pass. A sharp angle shot off the mask. O'Brien. They knock it all the way behind the net. Rebound out in front. Multiple chances. Powell knocking away at it. It's cleared behind the net. Stahlbrand firing it down on the corner. In the opposite corner, Brown. 5-on-5. Stahlbrand puts it into the zone. Stahlbrand sends it back to the blue line for Gibson. Powell in the zone, trying to get by Story. He'll elect to dump it in. Stahlbrand behind the net. Arthur getting it back. That pass intended for Raymond. And we'll go down. And we're here with third period action. Nobles will start on a power play for 1:23. They'll place them 5-on-5. Here we go. Face-off taken by the Phoenix. Koch skates back, fires it down. Attempted deflection by O'Brien. And behind the net for Pernall. Behind the net, Stahlbrand picks it up, clears it in. This will not go for icing. The zone deflected by Middleton. Went over to Raymond. Getting it back to the blue line. One-timer, they score! One-timer from the stick of Drew Stahlbrand from the pass of Gavin Gadet. And the Nobles will tie this game up just 30 seconds into the game. And already this game's tied up at 1. Maloney. Bank pass wasn't there for Duffini. Potential 2-on-1. Walking in. Backdoor pass intended for Bialy.
Nobles first goal scored by
Was
number
in midair.
20,
Could not get a stick on it. Caught.
Number 17.
Into the zone.
Nathan
Hit
Ryan.
by Bialy in the corner.
Number 6, Nuno Cis. Gavin Gadet.
Puck flies up over the
30
story.
seconds.
Hit along the
Cross
boards.
zone.
Into the neutral zone. Maloney. His cross ice pass for Hickey. Hickey will make a safe move and dump it in behind the net. Recovered by Stahlbrand. Put to the middle. A deflection by Kisman. Stahlbrand. He misses the tape of the intended target. Put down by Hickey. Stahlbrand. Again, turns it over to Hickey. Behind the net is Salah. Waits with it on his backhand to his forehand to the blue line. Only back down to Solo. Tried to put it in the middle for Kisman. Kisman in the hash marks. Tried to put it to the blue line. Kept it in by Hickey. Put to the middle over for Morris and cleared out all the way by Story, and that will be an icing charged against the Nobles. It's a 1-1 game here from the Uniplex on the Uni surface. And in Dieppe, New Brunswick, it's the Nobles and Phoenix tied at 1. Face-off taken by the Nobles. Behind the net. Clear up, trying to get to the blue line by Dugan. McFetridge. Put it back down. There's a Phoenix player that goes falling down. Walking the line is up for Brown. Brown shot. Dave put to the middle by Dauphiny. Puck hits off the dasher. That gets past McFetridge and goes over for Milne. Milne, that pass for Dauphiny. Dauphiny passed in the middle, intended for Brown. He had his stick lifted. Dugan up for Milne, who barely keeps it in. Pass in the middle, Duquette. Duquette moving in the zone, shooting, saved. Off the pad, it's sent over to the corner. Back down for Burke. He's hit it. Puck goes back for Gadet. Gadet, who had the assist off the first goal, one-timer, passes in for Duquette. Duquette in the corner being pressured by Maloney. Put up to the blue line. Cross-ice pass from Scott. Walking in. Gadet shooting into the glove of Monroe. It's a defensive zone clutch face-off 1. Macropolis over for Kisman. Dumps it in the zone. First one out to be Bodchin. Behind the net is Powell. Powell trying to work his way in front. He's shoved off the puck by Arthur. Blue line, Gibson put down. Brian got the intended target, shoved off the puck. Puck bouncing down in the corner. Arthur sent up to the blue line. Gibson. Puck over from Macropolis out in front. O'Brien shooting, save. His rebound, he scores! Why not make it 2 in the game? Graham O'Brien has his second of the game. And again, it's to take the lead by 1. Got a pass out in the slot in front. Save off the stick of Pernall. Finds his own rebound. Pops it up in the air. And that's enough to put it in the back of the net. Face-off taken by Belle River. Cleared in by Morris. Behind his net, Maloney. That pass along the boards for Macropolis. Fighting and digging for a loose puck, cleared in by Stahlbrand. And the net is Middleton. Try to throw it out in front. Pass up to the blue line. Here's a shot off the post. Rebound. They score.
And number 25, that's Tyler Powell at 3 minutes 40 seconds.
There's an initial shot from the blue line from Cale Morris that hits off the post and goes behind goalie Monroe. And finding the loose rebound is Rice, tying the game up quickly. Morris over to Stahlbrand. Clears it in. McFetridge around the net, hit off the puck. Puck loose behind the net, putting it in front is Middleton. Shot, save, rebound, they score! Austin Wills finding the rebound right on the doorstep. Initial shot by the goal scorer, Nathan Rice. The rebound is right to Austin Wills. And Belle River has their first lead of the game. Cleared in by Brown. Scott puts it behind the net. Banks against the board. It's a clean breakout for the Nobles. Pass a bit too far. Citadel trying to put it back in. Cleared in by Dugan.
Nathan Rice, assisted by number 20, numero 9, Drew Strelband.
Godet trying to clear it off.
Numero 7,
Phoenix still with it. Go Finney, makes his way behind the net. Scott clears it back along the boards. Picking it up is Gibson. Loses control of the puck. She goes in the neutral zone for Brown. Brown, that pass over for Dugan.
Nathan Rice and number
Tries to
20,
make his way past Story.
Drew Strelband. I kept minute net to one second.
Nobles cleared out of the zone, delayed offside. He touched up by Milne and only now whistled down. Under 11 minutes to go. Nobles now up by a score of 3-2. Quick cover by Pernall. So we'll have a defensive zone face-off for the Nobles. Going to be won by the Phoenix. Powell trying to put it on net. Clearing attempt is taken out by Burke. His pass through the legs of Duquette. Trying to get it back to strip it off the stick of Milne. He goes crashing down into the boards. Powell. Pass over for Hickey. Hickey with speed, loses the puck and backhanded away by Arthur. Now going back behind the net, Hickey. Up to Powell. Powell's going to get a stick with by Duquette, but managed to keep the puck and cleared back out of the zone from a bump along the boards. First one on it is Maloney. Maloney backhand. Over for Godet, who's going to keep it in. Hickey, but call for the pass aggressively. O'Brien dangles between his legs, makes a pass Stahlbrand, now puck to the side of the net. Gonna be Duquette gonna force his goaltender cover it. 9:46 left in the period. The Nobles have since in the intermission turned up their game rapidly, scoring 2 after being down 1-0 after the second. Nobles have quickly tied it up and then lost the lead and gained it, and then gained their first lead right back. Now speeding up the zone is Bialy. Rather, that's Rice. He stops, clears it down behind the net, over for Middleton. Middleton hit by 2 players. Rice in there digging. Rice tried to put a backhander out, blocked by the skates of Koch. That pass right to the slot, just lifted over the net by Wills. He was looking for his second of the game. Stahlbrand, pass over to Rice. Banks gets the boards by Koch. Morris, or for Stahlbrand. His hard shot deflected into the zone and out of play. Off the head of a Phoenix player. It's a face-off. Face-off goes near the Citadel bench. Taken by the Nobles. Cleared in by Scott. Put back behind the net. Over for Puccio. Puck passed up. Dauphiny. Brown trying to receive it. Bats that in midair. But swatted it more behind him. Nobles get possession back. Godet. Over to Scott. His pass that was intended up for Puccio. Not working out. Two Phoenix players collide right at their own blue line. Koch sends it down for Pernall. He'll leave it off for Raymond. Hit along the boards. Cleared back in high and above the net by McFetridge. Godet. Cleared along Scott. This pass deflected by Puccio. We'll go all the way down the ice. Phoenix now have to come in with speed. Noble's making some changes. Koch in, stops. Trying to slow the play down a little bit. Trying to get around Scott. Koch hit. We're going back the other way is Scott. Scott is blocked. Now going back. Hickey one-on-one against Godet. Against Stahlbrand. On his backhand, going to look for a pass. Try to do a no-look over to McFetridge, but is turned away and blocked by Bialy. Nobles with possession in their offensive zone. Trying to put that out in front of the net was Bialy. Puck's loose there behind the net. Cleared up by Powell. Blue line, Morris shooting, blocked by Powell. Morris, he's going to have another try. This one's again blocked by Hickey with speed. This could be a breakaway. Potential breakaway. Hickey in, six lifted, saved by Pernall. Going to be a penalty. Looked like he had just gotten his stick lifted, but was also given a couple whacks by Stahlbrand. And going to the box is Cale Morris. He'll get 2 for hooking at 7:04. Phoenix onto the power play. Need this to tie the game up. Dauphiny to the blue line, back to Dauphiny. Dauphiny sends it up for Milne. Over for McFetridge. Down low, Kisman, shot, he scores! Glenn McFetridge from the blue line. What looked like a harmless shot hit off a defenseman of the Nobles and found its way to the top corner of the net. So the Phoenix will tie it up 3-3 in the last 7 minutes of the game. Hickey cleared in. Duquette in the middle. That was almost a suicide pass. Coming in to hit him was Villeneuve. Dauphiny in, shooting, saved, and covered. And going around the league, no real scores have changed. Citadel is up 3-1 on CPA, and Rivière de Loup is still up 3-1 on the Nighthawks. Cleared out of the zone. Duquette finds the puck in the middle, turns it over, trying to swat it back in was Villeneuve. Capturing it on his forehand. Macro polish, trying to put it in. It's kept on the blue line. Maloney, shot, flipped high. Gonna be taken out by the Nobles. Duquette tried to dangle in past Koch. Koch had other ideas that it's gonna be flipped high and out of play off the netting by Gaudet. Face-off taken by Citadel. Koch tried to backhand it over to Hickey. He couldn't quite get out of the zone. It's poked out off the tape of Middleton. Puck flipped high and in on Monroe and saved at 5:31. There's a high shot that goes out of play. Almost hit some of the ceiling. They saw taken by the Citadel. Cleared back into the zone by Wills. Down in the corner, Maloney. Being pressured by Rice. Puck still loose in the corner, being pinned up. Refs with authority telling them to move it. Puck's pinned up again before it's taken up by Powell. He'll hit it off the boards, and the Noble defense must go retrieve it. Scott. That pass made it through Middleton and right to the tape of Rice. Rice being pinned up by a couple guys. Shot in by Scott. In the corner. Taken out by Citadel. Walking out is Hickey. Passes over to O'Brien, who has 2 goals in this game. O'Brien makes it past Scott. Scott pins him up, takes him down. Powell being angled out of the play. Now walking out of the zone from the Nobles is Middleton. Middleton, cross-ice pass. Here's a shot. Wide and above the net. Going back the other way is the Phoenix. Pass. Or for Dunn, who cleared it along the boards. No ice. We picked up by Milne. Coming out of the last minutes of the game. We're down to the final 5. Kept in by Belle River. Flipped in by Story. Milne pinning his man up against the boards. Belle River with possession in the offensive zone. Walking in. Arthur shooting. Saved by Monroe. Less than 4 minutes remaining in the period. I think we have over 100 currently watching live from home from the Uniplex in Dieppe, New Brunswick. It's the Nobles and Citadel in a very tightly contested game. Both teams yet to lose a game. Will we see one get their first loss, or it could end in a tie? Stahlbrand flipped it around. The boards, Dauphin blocking it, cleared up by Arthur. To the blue line, shot saved by Pearsall. Glenn McFetridge shooting again, a similar shot to the goal, to the shot he had when he got the goal. That deflected into the top basket. Face-off going to be taken by Kisman. He wins it, McFetridge. Not going to try a shot this time, going to put it behind the net for Sulla. Sulla being pinned up against the boards by Morris. Morris still on Sulla. They've just slightly moved over to the left. Belle River now clearing the zones. Puccio cleared in past McFetridge. Into the zone. Belle River, there's a shot. They score in tight. In tight shot from Anthony Puccio. And he goes bar down to give the Nobles the lead late in this game with 3:06 to go. Face off cleared in by the Nobles. Picking it up is Gibson. Gibson hit along the boards. Throwing it to the front was Rice. Now bringing it out of the zone, Powell. Leaves it off for Hickey. Hickey with speed. Trying to get by Goodette. There's a shot from Powell that's just wide of the net. Gibson, sit down to Powell. Hickey to the side of the net, put out in front. Powell put a drop pass behind him thinking he had an option, but was indeed unsuccessful. Gibson along the board, stopped by Pernall. He'll leave that one off for Goodette. Goodette cleared around the boards, Viali. Second guessing, pinching was Gibson. Maloney, back for O'Brien. Flip for Hickey, O'Brien. Walking in, poked off. Gibson gets it at the blue line. Trying to work his way past Rice. Rice takes it from him. Rather not Rice, but Bialy. And delayed offside. Looked like Villa was trying to leave the zone. And Mason Villa going to the box. So we'll have a Citadel power play for the exact remainder of the game. And we'll have a timeout for Citadel.
Timeout for Phoenix.
Iced back by Belle River.
Nobles penalty to number
It's a good start to the power play.
2 minutes for head contact at 14 minutes.
Walking out of the zone is Koch. Drops it off for Maloney, who skates through center ice. Banks it in past Story. It's taken by Stahlbrand and cleared all the way back. Monroe, his pass intercepted by Burke. Burke into the zone. He's taken down, no call. The Nobles had wanted one. Going back in the other end is Dugan. Cleared around O'Brien, trying to make it past Scott. O'Brien changes gears now, goes back into the point. Slides back down past Rice, still with it. In the far corner, goalie's pulled. It's now a 6-on-4. There's a shot from Koch above the net. Wraparound attempt, trying to jam it loose in front. It's taken into the corner by Belle River. Turn around and cleared by Scott. Still in the corner it is. Up to the blue line, Maloney shooting, save, rebounds loose, they score! And the Citadel Phoenix will tie it up in the dying moments of the game by the captain, Tyler Powell. So a 4-4 game. Could always end in a tie. Maloney, that pass was in for Hickey. It was deflected by Story. Cleared back in Maloney. This time it's high into the glove of Pownell. Cleared out by the Nobles. Potential 2-on-2. That pass over for Villa. Back to Story, trying to put a shot on goal. It was taken down. There's a shot, saved by Monroe. Pushing and shoving out in front. Just 13.8 left to go in the game. All tied up at 4. Face-out team by the Nobles. There's a shot attempt, saved by Monroe. That shot was from Wills. Cleared out. And they will not have enough time to go back. Gaudette skates around his net. And that will be the end of the game. It's going to end up in a 4-4 tie. So these teams will still stay undefeated. Stahlbrand still with some words for the officials. And that will end this game. We appreciate you for watching. 107 currently watching now. It's the final score from the Uniplex in Dieppe, New Brunswick. Citadel Phoenix 4, Belle River Nobles also 4. Next stream, it's coming up at 11:15. It's a Division I matchup between the Auburn Eagles and the Jesus Marie Lynx.
Junior Master Phoenix, player of the game for Phoenix, number 11, Graham O'Brien, numero 11, Graham O'Brien. Junior Master Nobles, player of the game for the Nobles, number 8, Austin Willis, numero 8, Austin Willis.